Good morning, everyone. We will start the session shortly. Sumit sir, is Dr. Ishita ma'am here? Dr. Sumit sir, is ma'am Ishita here right now? Dr. Sumit, can you hear me? Dr. Sumit sir, Sumit sir, can you hear me? Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, Jin ma'am. Ma'am, are you here? Dr. Ishita ma'am, are you here right now?
Yeah.
So
Good
we
morning,
can.
everyone.
Good morning, ma'am. So, ma'am, with your permission, we can start the session.
Yeah. You can.
Ispita,
So, good morning, everyone.
Rudra, please leave the session.
So, let's start the session. Well,
Give the
first of,
pronunciation. They tell me like Ispita. I'm at Sita. Somebody is like coming Ispita.
yes, ma'am. Let's start the session. So, first of all, I would like to welcome each and every one of you present here today for today's final session on 3 days online training program on emerging technology trends for technical disaster management. For today's session, we have four distinguished speakers, one from Andhra and three from NIDM side. So to begin the session, I would like to call upon Dr. Inamul Hussain. He, Sir has completed his BTech from Cotton College, Assam, and completed his MTech from Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology, and he has completed his PhD from National Institute of Technology, Silchar. So, Inamul sir, can you hear me? Inamul sir, Dr. Inamul sir, Dr. Inamul sir, can you hear me? Hello, Dr. Inamul sir. Hello, Dr. Inamul sir, can you hear me? Dr. Inamul sir, can you hear me? Yes, sir. Like I'm trying to call our today's speaker, Dr. Inamul Hussain. I think he is not able to hear me properly. Rahul, please unmute Dr. Inamul Hussain. Yeah, I'm contacting. He said it's muted. Rahul, can you please unmute Dr. Inamul Hussain?
already unmuted, sir.
Dr. Inamul Hussain, can you please try again? I think it's already unmuted from our side. We still can't hear you, Dr. Inamul Hussain. Can you please try to log in from another account or just re-log in? Sorry for the delay, and we are having some technical problems. We will continue shortly. Let's wait for 1 minute for Dr. Inamul Hussain to reconnect again.
और MSCI से क्लास है वो तो पास आउट हो गया हाँ तो हम लोग मतलब ये होने के है ना जैसे स्टार्टिंग में मुझे पता था कि इस मंथ में सेमेस्टर एग्जामिनेशन वगैरह सारा कुछ कंप्लीट हो जाएगा बट जब शेड्यूल आया उसमें पूरा ये मंथ तो सिर्फ प्रेजेंटेशन और प्रोजेक्ट में ही चला गया
I think there has been some problem with Dr. Inamul Hussain. If Mrs. Fatima Amin is present, like we can start the session from her. Miss Fatima Amin, are you here right now with us?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you're audible. So,
my
let's
lecture
start
is
the
at
session.
okay. So my lecture is at 11. Okay.
So, if it's okay, we can start the session from you.
From can I start? Is like
Yes, yes.
Okay. Just can you give me just 5 minutes and share see my PPT
Yes.
first.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, hi, Inamul. I can hear you now. We can hear you. Hello,
Sorry
can you
for the
hear me?
technical glitch. Yes, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you clearly.
Sorry for the technical glitch.
It's fine. So, shall we start the session?
Yeah, yeah.
Sir,
Okay,
will Dr. Namal Hussain sir start first?
okay. So, Inamul,
Who will start? Is it like will can I start or will sir start first? You know.
I think
If you want me to start, I'll start it. Just waiting for your confirmation. Is it like or
let, let Dr. Inamul Hussain start as per the schedule, and we'll continue with you, man.
okay,
Really
no
sorry
issues.
for inconvenience, man. Like there was some technical issue with his system. That's why.
Okay, sir. No, issue. I'll do that.
Okay.
Let me
Thank
know
you.
if. Okay, sir,
Thank you.
thank you.
So to start our today's session, that is our last session. I would like to call upon Dr. Inam Hussain. He is presently working as an assistant professor in Aditya College of Engineering, Andhra Pradesh. He completed his PhD from NIT Silchar and MTech from Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology. So, Dr. Inam Hussain, the platform is all yours. You may start your presentation. Dr. Inamul Hussain. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
You are not audible.
Can you
Azim,
hear me?
Dr. Azim.
Yeah, yeah. You can start your session. Dr. Inamul, you can start your session.
Hello.
Sir, you can start your session.
Audible?
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Sir, you're audible. You can start your session, sir. Dr. Inamul, you can start your
Am I
session.
audible?
Yes, yes. Yes, you are audible.
Hello. Dr. Azim,
Yes, you are audible, sir.
can anyone respond to me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Uh, okay, thank you so much for the introduction. So today I'm going to give a presentation on the use of technology and innovative approaches for effective digestion and risk management. I am Dr. Inamul Hussain. I am working as an assistant professor in Aditya College of Engineering, Andhra Pradesh. The contents of the talk is need of effective digestion and risk management, action plan, technology and innovative in digester and risk management, emerging technology, a bibliographic analysis. So here what I am going to do as what are the current research going on across the globe on emerging technologies That's what we are going to discuss here. And then after that, I'm going to conclude the sessions and then include references. Actually, I cannot hear anyone. Hello. Hello, Ozit. Dr. Ozit,
Sir, you are audible. You please continue.
am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are. We are able to hear you.
Okay, okay. So basically, why the need of effective digestion and risk management? Recent now we can see that this is the peak I have shared from the Lamding. Lamding is a hill station in Assam, and I'm belong from Assam, and Lamding is a very beautiful place. But recently, because of the heavy rainfall, this is the one, the Lamding railway station. We can see the picture that it has been the beautiness and everything got damaged. And though this is a natural disaster, again there are many things human has to be blamed. So in the last few decades, if we for the last 1 century, we can see that there is in the entire world, the disaster has been increasing exponentially. So that is the actually very cause. Though we can say that this most of the disaster is natural disaster, but definitely with the population, it has been increasing day by day. So definitely there should be a very effective disaster and risk management. Now I want to just go through some specific data, because data is quite important to use the any technology we are going to implement for the disaster management. So if we look for the 1982 to 99 and 2000 to 2019, and this data has been shared by the CRIT and even DRR by in a report Human Cost of Disaster. So where we can see that there is an increase, gradual, exponential increase of disasters. And reported disasters in the last 20 decades is more than 7,000, where the total deaths is around 1.23 millions. And the affected peoples are also in very high, and the economic loss is almost 2.97 trillion US dollar. And similarly, all the, like if you compare the last 20 years and the 1980 to 1999, there also we can see that the most effective different, what are the different climatics that are causing the disasters. And we can see that flood is the one of the major things which are causing the more, whether another is the storm. So the key points that we can summarize that a temperature increase of 3 degrees of global climate is estimated to increase the frequency of potentially high impact natural disasters. So this is one of the reasons that there is a huge global temperature rise. Another is that rainfall. This rainfall that is occurring, it is very unpredictable, and it is the in some place it is very high, in some place it is very low. So this is another point that can be considered. Another is that though we can approach different approaches, but recently we can see that COVID-19, which is mostly based on human-made disasters, and that can be also controlled by systematic and globalized and interconnect world. And another is that requirement for strengthening disaster risk governance to damage disaster risks with a clear vision, competence, plans, and guidelines. And also there should be a proper funding and also the coordination across the different stakeholders. That should be another key point of the disaster management. Then comes the public and private invest for the risk prevention and reduction. And if we classify the disaster, we can see the major natural disasters that are physical, hydrological, meteorological, and these are the different categories, and all are impacting in different ways in different part of the world. And if you see the number of disasters in the last 20 years, where we can see that China is the most affected country, then the USA, then comes India. So India is the third affected country in the world in the last 20 years. And the disasters that are considered here were more than 10 fatalities in a single disaster that are counted as a disaster for this report. And if you see the percentage of disaster, how it happening, and it's basically we can see the flood, which is having 40% of the comes in the flood, and the storm is the 28%, and gradually other having their own effect as well. Now, what are the different, if we categorize that different geophysical or hydrological, meteorological, or other part of the different subgroups, we can see that hydrological, which is nothing but basically the flood and landslide, etc., are causing the more disaster or the in the entire the world. And as I said, that topmost is in the China, and then India is the third most. And we are also having the hydrological disaster. Basically, it's the earthquake and also flood. And basically in 2001, we have the earthquake in Gujarat, and that cost almost around 20,000 people. So this is the total affected people per year in the major events that can be in this graph, where we can easily see that total number of people affected. And so the 10 deadliest disasters that occurred in last 20 years are the earthquake and tsunami, when both are occurring together, and then the earthquake, which are happening in Haiti in 2010, and the storm in Myanmar in 2008, and then earthquake in China and Pakistan in 2008, 2015. And similarly in India also, the earthquake that in 2001 happened basically in the Gujarat, that cost around 20,000 people. So this is the total affected people in the disaster type that already I have mentioned earlier. And what are the deaths occurred? The earthquake is the most deadliest one, which are causing around 58% death in earthquake. In a storm, it's 16%. Extreme temperature, it is 13%. And the flood, that caused 9% death in the different kind of disasters. Disaster, the most saddest part is that it is true that disasters affect everyone, but they are the poor people and the low privileged people that the effect on them is very more. If we see that in low income countries, 9% of the world disasters occurred. So this is the 9%, where the 91% disaster occurred in rich countries. But if we see the fatalities, the 48% of the fatalities are occurring in the low income countries. So that's why, as I said in the key point, that even also COVID also, when we are dealing with the COVID, what we have found that we all the world work together, connected together, and formulating different dialogues, and by that that has been prevented. Similarly, in disaster management also, it can be also controlled globally, connecting different stakeholders and working together. So if we see the top 10 countries of the populated affected, and that is basically, it can be shown here, and total death, that as I say that 4 countries have been affecting the more. Even if we see in a particular country, if we see the death in the rich people and the poor people are dying the more. With the low income people, the death is more, and whether middle income and middle income people and low income are already having the same fatality rate. But if we go for the upper middle income people or high income peoples, we can see that their death rate is very less. It is because of like poor people, whichever the rich people, they are easily they are available to the administration or the technology, or they are giving some favors from the government very easily. And also whenever they're making any buildings, they always take proper measurement. Also, whenever any forecast are given, these rich people they are mostly are educated people. So whenever any forecast came, so they took them very seriously. But in case of low income people, they are generally in the rural area as well as in slum areas or hilly areas. So they are not easily available to the administrations, and because that is the one of the reason. Another is that they also don't always take the forecast is the forecast of the weather forecast any for the very lightly sometimes they do, and because of that, that is the one of the reason. But anyways, it is the hampering the entire country or entire world. So that need to be managed properly. So the economic loss, the next is that human loss is the first cause. Another loss is the economic loss. So economic loss, if we are seeing the continent wise, we can see Africans are losing the more money, but also we are Asia, we are also having the 43% GDP has been lost by the digesters. And among these, China and Japan are the mostly affected in terms of economy. Whether in China, most disaster happen in China, but in Japan, very less disaster happening. But they are losing lots of money in the disaster management. So the breakdown of economic losses, the storm is losing almost 47%, while flood is causing 23% of the overall GDPs, and then earthquake, drought, and etc. are coming. So action point. So action point is based on like proper analysis and data. If you are not taken consider of, we cannot take the any action properly. So in the action point, first is the focus strategy on disaster risk communication. When there is any communication is happening, especially to help to understand how residents interrupt warnings or how they are behaving with that, we should aid in stressing communication strategies. So different communication strategies has to be developed in the most effective forms in the various content. Then is the better flood control. So this better flood control is one low-hanging fruit in DRR policy terms, since affordable and effective technologies already exist, including dams, dikes, mobile dikes, and improved early warning systems. So better, we have already infrastructure with you, we have already technology with you, so better flood control can be done. Third point is that cost-effective measures in poor regions at high risk of recurrent flooding, together with malnutrition prevention program. So that is another action point can be done. And another thing is that cost-effective for poor region as well as malnutrition. That is another things need to be considered. The fourth point is that there are numerous proven life-saving measures for storm impacts, such as cyclone shelters are there, wind resistant buildings are there, preservation of protective ecosystems such as mangrove, forest, and coral reefs, etc. are there. In addition, effective development of early warning systems supported by increasingly accurate weather forecast have the potential to protect different populations like low-income population worldwide, and can save thousands of lives. So here, proper weather forecast can be used. So weather forecast can be done by proper technologies. And I'm talking about that how different technologies will be can use in different steps. Next is that strengthening the resilience of drought areas. So if we see that populations should be globally priority, the human are the global priority over the next decade. Better accounting system for indirect deaths for drought are also required. This should be linked to early warning systems and response mechanism in order to monitor the impacts of drought more comprehensively. So here also technology will play a vital role. 6 point would be the standardized methodologies are needed to collect comprehensive national data on dates from all natural hazards. So data collection is another important, and that can also be we can utilize to awareness program that people will that know that whatever the forecast or things are given, warnings are given, those need to be taken up, otherwise we have to lose our lives. Better data collections, as I said, is will also help us to understand the disaster impact and improve analysis. For in action point 8, we should be reporting of economic losses should be improved, particularly for lower income countries as well as in the remote areas of a particular country. And the 9th action point would be use of social media and crowd resource. That could be another vital that plays a vital role in for DRR. So basically, there could be in DRM 5-step action plan can be done on. One is the risk identification, second is risk reduction, then we have preparation, financial protection, and resilient recovery. So what could be the different technologies that can be used, and what are the different kind of things? So here I'm not talking about only the particular technology. What that I'm talking about that how different technologies for in different steps can be used for disaster and risk management. So population growth, urbanization, and growing environmental challenges add complexity to the decision-making process related to disasters. So as we can see that, for example, as we are talking about that, we got the lumbing, as we have shown a picture of the lumbing. It is very beautiful. It is constructed on the hillside. But when I visited several times lumbing, and what I have seen that though it was very beautiful, but when it was roadside, it was when it was road are built or the canals are made, those are not protected very well, like the slopes of the land, etc., etc. So basically, in India, where urbanization or the growing and create lots of environmental challenges. So here, decision-making process should be very important, and also the management and the administration should be very, very active in that, because when there opportunity arises, any disaster arises, it takes as an opportunity for many people. They think that okay, now this is the opportunity we can earn money, or when there is any growth occurring in the country, there is a group who always thinks for yeah, this is the opportunity we can earn money. So this is decision making and also the challenging. This is the another part could be done properly. And also technology and innovation can be properly used for DRM in times of crisis as well as in planning and reconstruction. So planning and reconstruction is one of the most part that I'm concerning, but because I'm basically from Northeast India, I have been also in Arunachal Pradesh, which is around 90% area is under hilly areas where landslides are very common. I have seen many people are dying there, and also those are not properly coming in the national news. So, but basically, their planning and reconstruction that can be done, and also emerging technology can be properly used for risk minimization, and also this management, disaster management. Similarly, utilization of technology for more focused disaster risk assessment, improve forecasting, prevent human losses with effective early warning system, that could be more helpful. And at the same time, for the construction of building or the road area, soil testing should be done, and also they should proper technologies need to be adopted so that there should not be any landslide or if anything happening, because it is known to everyone that in northeast, entire northeast will have a loss of rainfall. So obviously when rainfall occurs, it's happening every year. So government or other agencies must be adopt proper technology, and that only help them to reduce this. Otherwise, they don't going to be helped. Then fostering innovation approaches may uncover different ways of working collaboratively, and may also identify tools, data collection, management methods, risk communication, and knowledge sharing approaches. So this is the another important things that can be adopted. So what are the different technology can be used in the different steps of the disaster management? And one is the risk identification, and it is because of the better identification of and understanding of the disaster risks. And what is technology can be used here? Exposure of identification and mapping, and proper models can be developed, and proper database can be used for that. So that is the technology that can be used for the risk identification. Then another is the risk reduction. How can risk can be deducted? So what are the technology we can use for this? Is that ecosystem-based management and adaptation, community-based ecosystem, then hybrid solution. Like one solution may not be enough. We may be integrated different management together. For example, integrated water resource and coastal zonal management, then earthquake resistant constructions, communication network must be built, and also meta analysis applications and different softwares and tools can be used for risk reductions. Another for the preparation. So preparation is the another thing which actually manage to crisis and disaster management and forecasting capabilities. So the use of technologies, what are the technologies that can be used? Is a resource database again. Database always plays a vital role. Then coordination and resource allocation tools, knowledge networks, weather forecasts, real-time tracking of the storms, home sensors, cluster approach and tools, the different responses, etc. can be all used. Also, social media technology can be used for preparations. Because nowadays with the technology, we all are involved in the social media. So social media is another very useful technology that can be used for all the steps of disaster management control. Another financial protection, and financial protection, of course, this is the government and private sectors for the protecting the human resource and the national resources or the government resources we have. So this can be all blockchain, crowdfunding, new insurance policies, etc. And resilient recovery, so which can be fastest recovery that can be used. So that can be done with the proper technology, livelihood and disaster management, awareness, improved sanitation technologies, water access, and the purifications, and medical technologies. So these are the different technologies that can be used for resilient recovery. Now, as I said, that it should be a collaborative process. We cannot rely on only particular that government will do or administrator will do or something will do. Here, lots of things can be done from the academician, researcher, and innovators. So here I am doing the one survey. What are the different research are going on in the world on disaster management and emerging technology. I'm very much glad that Minister NIDM is collaborating with different universities and they are conducting training program. And I would be also looking forward that they would be coming up some different projects who can work together and to do proper innovations and proper technology can be developed to fight the disaster management and the risk reduction. So the here what I have done in the basically to look for the what are the emerging technologies and the and their impact in the disaster management are overall in DM cycle. Basically, what are the researches going on across the world, and what are the technologies they are using for that. So why I'm going for this, because being an academician or being a researcher, we have definitely have something to do for the societies, and obviously there should be a course should be included in or even my students also, they got a degree, but what is the use of the degree? How I can use degrees to resolve the problems of the society? So if there are more projects are allocated or issued for the disaster management risk reductions to different engineering colleges or universities, where academics, teachers, and students can work together, and they can also feel proud that how their knowledge can be applied to reduce the risk reduction in the disasters. And that's why that is the main goal behind it, to do a survey on research, what are the researches going on across the globe. So here what are the things are I find that different emerging technologies that are using for preparedness or resilience for the specific systems dealing with different phase of disaster management cycle. Another is that different simulations techniques or technologies that are used for reduction of the different problems in the DM. So basically here, I'm not talking about particular, this is the overview where even if any students are there or any researchers that they can look for bigger. So first of all, I'm going to categorize into what are the technology that are available in the literature. I have gone through the different papers. This is and that what are the main parts of this description, what are their main applications and their application in disaster management. So first is nowadays is important is the Internet of Things, IoT. So what is IoT is basically, we know all about this. It is the different sensors or systems that we have together. We are connecting all this in the clouds. We are controlling everything with the help of internets. So that IoT technology. So what are the main applications? This application will be located that are using this is the recent paper in 2019. They have shown that IoT can be used for big data processing, also mobility management, and basically the function this could be the response of the disaster management. And that is the artificial intelligence. This is always we talk about. We are being an very much popular everywhere nowadays. People are looking for artificial intelligence. So we all, what is this artificial intelligence? Is that we have the knowledge. So what is the difference between knowledge and intelligent? Knowledge is that where we have the different data are there, we have the different informations are there, that means we have the knowledge. But having the knowledge does not mean we have the intelligence. When we have the decision-making capabilities based on this knowledge, that tell us about the intelligence. So when we are making human-made intelligence means when we get the intelligence, we have the information. Based on our information, when we can make the decision, then decision can be said the intelligent or not. So similarly, we can make this human-like decision can be made by the different machines or systems, and that is called artificial intelligence. So the main application is that process automation, performance tasks, cognitive insight using machine learning algorithms, and cognitive engagement. And basically, this can be also used for prevention or like further damage after any digester management. So this can be included by using the artificial intelligence. Another is big data analytics. So data is plays a very vital role, and in this author, the Gandomi and Hyder in 2015, they have shown that in big data analytics also, by doing the big data analysis, data management can be done properly. And because without proper data management, we cannot have the proper idea. So this is could be have that the response could be emergency response and the recovery. Another is that RS, remote sensing. So in 2016, one paper they have shown that RS provides an observation of some physical parameters in between frame a given and time period. And this remote sensing is basically will give us the different image and spatial data. We can collect it, and also we can take different satellite images, unarmed aerial systems, UAS or UAV, or different drones. Those images can be taken, and we can done proper analysis on that. And again, this will be helpful for preparedness and response. Another technology that is GIS. So GIS provides us the geographical and location information. So as we know nowadays also we are helping like GIS are in our mobile phone also. When we are going for any photographs, we are using the GIS. So it is giving us that geographical information. This is basically main applications can be done in disaster management, and the main application is the Earth observations. And again, the applications, this will be recovery and also GIS, because it will give us the information where the exact disaster is happening. So we'll get otherwise, if we don't have any proper information where the proper landslide happening, or because there are very much remote areas are there. Anything happen in the urban area, it's easily accessible. We will have the media, etc., etc. But if you are thinking about the remote areas, if I look back 10 years back or 15 years back, I was from Northeast, where anything happening, no one is aware of. But as of now, recently, I am very happy that happy in that sense that not for this what disaster happening. It is because this is information that are coming to the national media or the government are taking seriously, because those image and those videos are coming to everyone. So GIS data is very much important, and government or different agencies can go there and can do different recovery systems, or they can feed the further, they can take different steps so that no such disaster happen there. So this is happening because last 10 years, the improvement of technologies helped us that people now, government now can locate what are the different areas this disaster happening in Northeast or other remote areas, and people are now getting benefited easily. So the GIS information data is very much important, and GIS data is another technology that can be used for recovery and further damage control. So another technology that are shown in a research paper in 2019. Many research papers are there, but I have based on their citations or their impact, I have included those things. One is the robotics and automations. This is the another area where that can be used for used. So now the industry 4.0 is going on, and we are looking forward to 4.5, where robotics and automations are going to overcome many where robotics and automations are more emerging technology going on, and we can see these are the things nowadays are also taught in the Indian universities and academics. People are looking for artificial intelligence, uh, these IoTs and robotics and automation. Different courses are offered because uh, with the technologies we are always looking for different kind of solutions. So here also robotics and automations are very much useful for digestion management, and this can be basically again used for healthcare industry, emergency management, and this is a different papers that's come in the literature. One that is the social media. We all are aware of this. What is the social media? And social media is not only actually there is a many people are think that social media only is just for WhatsApp or Facebook, etc. No, it is a very huge platform. It is not only a Facebook or Instagram, etc. Social media, different online blogs or micro blogs or different networking system, different forums, etc. Also a social media, and also nowadays different portals are also coming out for social. So the different social initiatives are done. So this is another technology that can be used. Obviously, these social media are using based on artificial intelligence, machine learnings, etc. But again, this can be categorized because uh, because of their use. So this can be act as an umbrella and a revolutionary trend to solve a different problem in disaster management. So one of their main applications are in the crowdsourcing, communication during emergency, disaster management, etc. And as I said, really what's happening under the world now we can easily access through the social media. So that is another important tool for us that can be used properly for our disaster management, also risk reduction. And also this crowdsourcing or crowdfunding could be the another thing. Recently we have seen in COVID time also, we have seen that crowdfunding plays a very vital role. Even our government, not only the private agencies, even the government also, we also know about the PM Care. The government openly asks for that crowdfunding, so that we can help them in their crisis times. So that is another time where we can help. In also in the Kerala flood, or also in West Bengal, also in Assam, also government also asking for crowd sourcing. So social media, which everything are promoted through the social media, and when these things are going to every houses, we are connected to the social media. So from there, easily government can take off different steps for disaster management. Another is that blockchain. It is another very new technologies. People who are going for the research, they knows that these are going are the recent technologies that are widely used in recent times. You can see the thousands of research articles are publishing based on these technologies. And blockchain also can be used for this technology for the relief recovery in the disaster management. And this also shown in this paper in 2018. So some of the popular journals that are publishing papers on in the last just a few years, the recent times, I'm not looking all this, you can see that we are having very we are getting good citations. That means these technologies are sorry, this is the popular not the journals actually, these are the articles. So if this is mistaken, I have written the journal. So these are the different articles, they are available in accessible. So you can, if you are looking for doing any innovations or research on disaster management or different technologies we are going to use, then definitely these papers are very much useful to start the research. Now, I am going to give one bibliometric analysis. Actually, not by, this is by one of the authors. They have done a very good paper in recent time. When I was searching it, I found that digestion management in emerging technologies, they have done a very good bibliometric analysis that what are the recent publications are going on. And this is very recent paper. It is published in 2021. So where in bibliometric analysis is basically give us that based on some keywords or something we can find out what are the publications are going on. Like we are doing the research and publications. So for these publications we have some database, like some world-renowned database are Scopus, Web of Science, etc. So where where the genuine those researchers published in the database are who have gone through other lots of reviews, then only the journals are included in this database. So what the authors has done is that in this bibliography analysis they have had research that what are the research are going on disaster management and risk reductions and technology they are used. In this regards, they have selected around 37 research papers where duplicates research papers they have removed. 373 duplicates papers have been removed. Duplicate means there are some journals are there which are also Scopus index and also web of research. So different database. So same paper may be come in different database. So to do the bibliometric analysis, which is another very much good analysis to do for any research scholars, new research scholars, to analyze that what are the recent research going on across the in his research domain. What we have to do, we have to go to the Scopus database, or we have to type the different keywords, and based on the keywords we'll get the all the journals that got published, and from there they can year wise they can categorize which year what are the published are going on. So generally for a new researcher they generally don't know how to find that. So I'll definitely ask for they should go for bibliometric analysis. It will give them to find the recent publications, and also can help them to formulate their research problems. So basically after that, based on their different recent techniques, and they have categorized, they have finally taken 69 best papers, and they have been shown that how these are published in the recent times in this graph. So based on the 69 papers, they have analyzed that what are the technologies that are going on for the disaster management. So here they have done the clusters in 4 categories: blue cluster, red cluster, green cluster, and yellow clusters. And blue cluster is basically for different simulation methods. It is for the preparedness, to prepare for disasters. So different here we can use the machine learning. Yesterday also we had on talk on machine learning, data mining, sentiment analysis, etc. Social media. So this preparedness can be used for these are for the simulation methods. And this red cluster, this is classified. This keyword are classified based on for the disaster management cycle. It will the response phase. So this will for the response phase. This can be used the disaster management, disaster response. These are the keywords they have used to analyze their data. In the green cluster is basically for post-disaster management. So this is emergency services, humanitarian operations, and the supply chain, performance measurement, predictive analytic, blockchain, etc., big data analytics, etc. These are categorized in the green clusters. And yellow cluster basically for data mining, machine learning, measurement, and it is basically the performance perspectives. What are the performance perspectives in digester management? It is measurement, management, and accountability. So this is the main reason. So here, yellow cluster, they are making the simulation, the decision management, and artificial intelligence. Also, they are using the deep learning. So basically, I am picking the simulation, basically simulation tools. So simulation tool, maybe we may use artificial intelligence, deep learning, or other tools to predict, and also for the prevention. Here they have done a network visualization by using the VOS viewer software. Here it can be seen that the disaster management, what are the different technologies recent teams are using, and also the cluster wise. So cluster wise are using that these are the different technologies are using across the globe for the disaster management. So when we're looking for any government or any agencies, they must look for that these are the technologies that can be used for the disaster management. So in different areas and different cycles. So this is again done by the viewer software only. This is the overlay visualization that how over the years the works are going on where the people are communicating more. One of the thing here can be we are seeing that simulation based and social media and remittance supply chain is another thing, because this is crowd resource basically. Social media, because of the rise of the social media, we can anything can be easily approached to the everywhere. So social media is plays a very vital role in disaster management. Also the simulation techniques, another media, and also disaster response can be another thing that can be useful for disaster management. So finally, what I can conclude is that in disaster management, effective uses of emerging technologies make performance perspectives. As I say, what are the performance perspectives? It is the measurement, management, and accountability. So if we can done this, that will be easier in the entire disaster management cycle. So we must use proper technology for this measurement, management, and the accountability. So I just summarize these things in where that measurement, what could be, how we can do the emerging technology tools. It is the different simulation tools, big data analytics, artificial intelligence, and social media can be used for this measurement. Second thing is that management. Management, again, social media will play a vital role. Robotics and automation, remote sensing, IoT, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, and GS data. So that is very important for these technologies will be used for the management. And that is the accountability. For the accountability also, GS data, social media, and blockchain. And what the common thing we can see that in all this here, the social media is the common. So obviously we have very drawbacks of the social media, but at the same time, this can be very much used properly well. And at the same time, students can also look up for the different courses and skills develop up, because we can see that in coming days, industries and different innovators and also are based on these different simulation tools and different technologies are coming up, not only for the disaster management, risk reductions, in other day-to-day problem also, these technologies are very much useful, and academicians and students and researchers can also look for. And I also be looking forward that governments will come up with different projects, and they will be funding to giving funding to different universities and colleges to build up different projects, so that students and researchers work together to solve the national problems. That's all for my talk, and there are the differences that I have taken consider of. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Animal Hussain, sir, for this valuable lecture for our all participants. You discussed about technology and innovation in disaster and risk management and how to use technology in different steps. And you also discussed disaster management and emerging technology, purpose, finding, and bibliometric analysis, IoT, AI, remote sensing, data analytics, GIS, robotics, blockchain based application. Thank you so much, sir. I hope this is very valuable lecture for our all participants for future research and work.
Dr. Ajit?
Hello, I am audible. Hello,
Yes,
am
sir, you are audible.
oh, thank you. On the behalf of Dr. Ajit, I am also welcome all of you participants. Myself, Dr. Sumit, I am Assistant Professor, Faculty of Information Technology, Gopal Narayan Singh University. Thank you once again, Dr. Inamal Hussain, sir. Now, next, I would like to invite Miss Fatima Amin, ma'am. Miss Fatima, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello,
sir.
anyone having
Am I
any
audible?
queries or any questions?
This is a question session, sorry. Any participants who have any query or question, you ask them. No, okay. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite
Am
Ms.
I audible?
Fatima. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Inamal, sir. Yes, sir. So I hope there are no any query from participant side. Now we can start our next session. So welcome to Ms. Fatima Amin, ma'am. Ms. Fatima Amin is a presently young professional at National Institute of Disaster Management,
So it's
Ministry
okay.
of
You can skip that. We are over time and we're
Compliance,
only.
New Delhi.
Thank you so much,
So,
sir. Thank you for inviting me. So, although I'll be just sharing the basics and also how with help of advanced technologies we are using in disaster management actually. So I'll just like to share my screen. Just a minute. Uh, in answer, you just have to you just have to stop the sharing the screen.
Hello.
Only then I can share my.
Video.
Could you just could you just stop sharing your screen in answer?
So I'm not audible.
Am I not audible? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, now it's okay. So yeah, it's sorry.
yes, Fatima, you are audible.
I am Fatima, and I'm a young professional in ECDRM division in NIDM. So I'm just like this. I want to share about the technological applications for landslide disaster management. Actually, just a basic concept about. Sorry, is it moving? Yeah. How the concept came in actually. We all know that landsliding is one of many natural processes that shape the surface of the earth, and it's only when landsliding threaten mankind that they represent a hazards. And all of us know that landslide is one of the costliest and fatal geological hazard, threatening and influencing the socio-economic condition in many countries globally. And particularly talking about the classifications of earth movement, it's like the all movements of land masses are referred as landslides, but actually how they are differ and how they differ from one another is like the type of landslides are categorized, and those are usually known as the earth movements, and they are classified in the following forms. Like the earth movements is either in the shape of earth flow, where you can where solidification creeps and rapid flows come under, and under the landslides there is a debris slide or slump, rock fall, rock slides, and subsistence that under that comes the plastic flow or collapse. So the definition, everyone be aware of what actually a landslide is the movement of ground or the earth's material ranging from very rapid to extremely slow, uh, uh, and um, it can be all considered as the landslides. And it's a sorry and what leads to a landslide, or what and how a surface when a surface slides, how what are the different reasons for the failure of that particular thing. See, on the right of my side you can see how a landslide is disrupting the infrastructure, where infrastructure disrupting the roads. This is the particular example of a landslide. So landslide, we are having different types of, sorry, is my slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are having different types of landslides. So the either is in it is in the shape of slumps, either in the fall or slide, or so these types or of landslides can be defined or classified accordingly. And what actually how you can classify landslide on the basis of their geomorphic morphological attributes, like on the basis of weathering, on the basis of slope form, and also you can classify a landslide on the basis of their material, what kind of material there is present, whether there is a rock, whether there is a soil lithology, or the structural geotechnical properties, and on the basis of landslide geometry, or like what was the depth of that particular landslide, and what was the length, and what was the height, and also the type of movement, whether the slide was either the fall or flow. And also depends on the climate that is having the, like whether the climate was tropical or the periglacial one. And also depends upon the water, like whether the slide was dry, wet, or saturated. And spread of movement, where you see whether the slide was slow or very slow. So, and different triggering mechanisms, we all know that landslide is the cascading, it's also a cascading disaster. Like it is being affected by either rainfall or earthquake, and some human induced like methods, like when the constructions of dams and all. So this is one of these are the classifications of landslides. So talking about the types of landslides, like we see four different types, like we see the fall, topples, and slides and flows. And talking about the falling, so falling involves the detachment of soil or a rock from a steep face or cliff, like that's shown in the picture, or that along a surface on which little or no shear displacement occurs. The material then descends through the air by the falling, and before impact with the ground, resulting in the disintegration. So with fragments subsequently bouncing and rolling some distance. That is what happens in the falling one. And about the toppling one, toppling involves the forward rotation of out of a slope of a mass of soil or rock, about a point or axis below the center of gravity, or displaced masses, the subsequent evolution of displacement masses similar to that of a fall. And about the slides, so slides are spreading, we can say that there is the extension of cohesive soil or rock mass over a lower deformable layers, combined with a general substance of upper fracture mass into the softer underlying material. The surface is rupture and not a surface of intense shear, so it's often not well defined. And about the flow one, so like the flow type, we see that the flowing is the turbulent movement of a fluid mass over a ridged bed, and with either water or air in the pore film. This is a graduate, and this is the graduation from flow to slide, depending on the water content and mobility. uh, in this picture you can see the different types of how different types of slides is opening, like the debris flow in a streamline, and this is the particular example of a rock fall on a some houses, and the particular landslide one, and how the river bank collapses, and the upper one is showing the rock slide, and some other of landslide that is caused by the poor road construction. And talking about the sliding one, since we don't define about what happens when a slide occurs, so this is the downslope movement of a soil or rock mass, or as a coherent body, or body on a surface of rupture or a zones of intense shear strain. So this was the classification about the landslides. What actually are the causes of landslides? We all know that as I was discussing in the earlier slide, that causes of landslide is a consequence of a complex field of force, which is an active on a mass of rock or soil or slope. Basically, there are two main determinative parameters, and they are, and when there is an increase in shear strength, and second is when there is decrease in material strength. This gives a rise to a landslide. These are the checklists that whenever the landslide occurs, when the stability of the slope changes from a stable to an unstable condition, a change in the stability of slope can be caused by a number of factors acting together or along. So the cause of landslides are either there will be some geological causes, there will be morphological causes, third one will be the physical cause, and fourth is human cause. What happens when a landslide occurs in a geological cause, like there is a weathered when there is a weathered material, when there is a rainfall and snow and earthquake from this a geological, and this is a cause of, this is a geological one. And about the morphological changes, like when there is a change in slope angle, upliftment or wave erosion or glacial erosion or a fluvial erosion. And about the physical one, like when there is a intense rainfall of like a rapid drawdown or earthquake or thawing or volcanic eruptions or soil erosions. And about the last one, that is the human cause, like loading, drawdown, land use, when there is change in the land use pattern, mining, that's giving rise to landslides, deforestation, water seepage, etc. These are some of the checklists of landslides and their causes. Being in a disaster management, when you talk about some of the disasters, you just have to keep one thing in mind, that is what are the remedial or measures to control or some of the methods to stop that particular disaster. Okay, so as per Indian standard landslide control guidance, landslide preventive techniques are divided into two groups. One is direct, another one is indirect one. And in direct method, that is further divided into two, that is restraining structure, second one is easing of pressure by excavation, and third is reconstruction of slope using reinforced earth, and fourth is rock reinforcement. Second one is how indirectly we can measure or different methods, remedial methods for stopping the landslide, is involving erosion control measures, and improvement in surface and subsurface drainage. So this was, and some of the mitigation approaches, you can see that how we can stop landslides is like we have to avoid of steep slopes and cautions during developmental activities. And yeah, this is one, the that insurance for risky construction in risky areas. This is one of the, like, to be safe on for the futures, so that we shouldn't be economically weak. And third one is land use zoning and restructuring, restrictions imposed in unsafe zones. Like when there should be a particularly some laws, even though we are having different laws that we shouldn't construct a particular building in that particular zone, but still, I guess due to overpopulations, we are moving to those unsafe zones. And fourth one is structural design, incorporating additional safety regulations in sloping land. So these are some of the serious and fatal landslides that have occurred in India, and particularly they usually occur in northeast eastern side of, or what we can say that the most of landslides occurs in the Himalayan regions. But also, Mumbai has faced a landslides in Maharashtra, and I guess it was previous year, and the landslide. This one is mentioned of 2005, but Mumbai is having a long history of landslides. These are the landslide incidents period for the year of 2019, where you can see the different types of how landslides have disrupted the roads. How, although the less people are affected now because of we are giving the early morning systems. Due to early morning system, the people, less number of people died during the particular area, but we just have to work on other things, like how we should stop or avoid these slides. These are the examples of landslides, what happens when a landslide occurs, and how things are disrupted. In this image, you can see what actually happens when there is a slope failure, and what are the options we can do on our from our end. Apart from technologies, we can this one comes under the technology, that is the biotechnical slope stabilization that can be done, and friction pipes can be used for avoidance of landslides, and tracing, benching, the drainage, looking at the drainage pattern, the geogrid, the sheet piling. That is usually that is, I guess, if you are like gone through the Himachal or some other places, you can see that the geogrid that is placed on that particular way, going from some Chandigarh to, if you are going towards Himachal, you can see that geogrid over there. I guess Inam sir much morely described about the disaster management part, but I am just talking about the components of landslide that in disaster management process we use. So for the management of landslide or snow avalanche, what we do, there is a multi-hazard conceptualization, and there are different landslide remediation practices, research and development, and monitoring, and early warning is done, and knowledge network and management, the capacity building and training is done. When we talk about the management, the public awareness and education about the landslides, their impacts, and how to stop them, and where should we construct our buildings, or if somehow is living that in particular area, what are the things they should and they need to learn about, and if there's some emergency preparedness and response phases, and some of the regulations and enforcement that particularly the government should look after on this thing. Talking about the technological part, we know that we are using the wide spectrum of technologies that we use in all 4 phases of disaster management. That is for the preparedness phase, mitigation phase, response and recovery phase, in disaster risk reduction. We use a database system, a database management system, the management of information system, decision support system, and most important is a remote sensing. how with the help of remote sensing, that it uses an unprecedented knowledge of Earth process, and thanks to our continuously growing constellation or multi-sensor satellites completely by airborne and based technologies, almost any airspace-borne sensors available offer in its contribution to the landslide science, optical and microwave imagining system. That's a scanning and rainfall measurement, major emissions, and moreover, remote sensing can consider as a transversal domain in the landslide science, covering almost all tasks of investigation. Um, Landslides are common primarily in mountain regions. If a slope is unstable or become unstable due to external driving forces, like I was talking about, what are the different sources due to which landslides occur. So we know that although remote sensing is continuously used for landslide detecting, or we usually use it for mapping and monitoring, it is generally considered to have a medium effective reliability for landslides studies, because satellite data are available relatively at coarse resolutions. And about the GIS, technologies like lidar in combination with the GIS have dramatically improved the collection of geological information. And those who don't know about the lidar, it's a laser-based technology that allows a geologist to not only predict and accurately locate landslide, but also reveal its history and give information about that. Okay, what happens when we use uh, remote sensed data for landslide studies, whether there is air, satellite, or ground-based measurements? It's mainly classified into three main categories. That I was talking about. That is, first is identification, second one is monitoring, and third one is spatial analysis and hazard prediction. However, landslides is influenced by several preparatory integrating factors, and that is and has caused loss of lives and properties and environmental degradation. Sorry. So what we do, we just made an inventory map for we just made inventory maps, like identifies landslides in an area to establish a special correlation between landslide and the environment effect factors. So this was the about the remote sensing, and about the different technologies have been largely supporting the landslide science in recent years, with the aim of achieving a better knowledge of Earth phenomena, of reducing the landslide risk, and improving disaster mitigation and preparedness capability. So technologies, including both where we talk about the hardware part or the software development, gives a core contribution to almost all subdomains of landslide science. And in landslide risk assessment, the technology contributes to a kind of indirect way, that's by providing information about predisposing factors, that some geomorphology, some topography, geology, land cover, and hydrogeology, triggering factors such as the mainly some rainfall and earthquake, and for a model validation. Some ground-based monitoring techniques that we use in landslide is what it does, it gives an introduction to close range photogrammetry for the measurement of deformation on landslides. So this is the one of the technique that we use. Second one is the geophysical and geotechnical methods that presents the concept of passive seismic as a method of monitoring the propagation of cracks within a rock mass as a result of load stress or water freezing. The aim is to assess the possibility of recording precursory signals of rock mass and introduction failures on the basis of microseismic sensor network to be used as early warning alert. And same that I was discussing about what happens when we use satellite remote sensing techniques. So what we usually do, monitoring landslide activities in the area of multi-frequency satellites and data sets, the application of multiple methods based on INSAR data processing for landslide monitoring. Also, a development and application for multi-sensor drones for geohazard monitoring and mapping And last one is the multi-scale rainfall triggering model is for early warning system of landslide. This was a technological part that we use in the science of landslides. And these are the examples of some of the poor landslide practices. And on the right hand are there some of the example of good hillside practice, like with the help how you can, with the help of some vegetation retention, or with the help of some flexible structures, how you can like make the soil stable. And on the left side you can see that what happens when the house is constructed in that place that is um, vulnerable to, or that is unstable, where the roof topples and can easily come down slopes. And this is the example that I was showing there, how with the help of these these structures we can hold a landslide back and stop it to come down. And this is the another one, that is the whichever grass is grown on that particular slope, that grass holds this soil back, and this helps us to avoid a particular slide. So this was all from my end. Thank you so much. I'm open to any questions, so please.
Thank you, Fatima ma'am. Any query or question from participant side?
Yes, there are. That is why I was talking about. There are different technologies for landslides. Like some are using for data, some are using for how to stop. Like first of all, we just have early warning systems for that to detect a landslide. And also, yeah, this is like a landslide is a thing that you can see from your your eyes also. Okay, also when if there the place particular place is if in that particular area, if there is the process of mining is going on, or while making any construction, you can clearly see that yeah, this particular place is vulnerable to landslide. So there are different technologies that for that we use in disaster yeah, I mean for landslide reduction. Another question is there. Let me read it. Any technologies for quickly. With the help of digital elevation model, you can know the slopes stability. Although I'm not the expert in DM all, and I'm just in a way to process my research on the particular thing. So I maybe not knowing all the applications, but as far as I know, the digital elevation models is used for to know the slopes stability, and for that, that's used for that.
Okay, no any more questions. Thank you, Fatima ma'am. Thank you once
Thank you so
again.
much. I hope I just try to answer those questions. Although I'm not that I'm not having expertise. I just try to give the basics. So thank you so much. Thanks for giving me a chance.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to Mr. Harshit Sharma. Harshit Sharma, sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. So, Mr. Harshit Sharma is currently working as a young professional in National Institute of Disaster Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, New Delhi. And he has a vast experience in the field of administrators. He has held various important administrative positions earlier in NIDM and has worked in the Vigilance Department of Indian Oil Corporation Limited. He was an integral part of the WHO project and UNICEF project in National Quality of Care Network, India. He is a graduate from Kumaon University, Nainital, Uttarakhand, and pursuing his Master in Public Administration from Indira Gandhi National Open University. He also held a Diploma of Office Management from Young Men's Christian Association, New Delhi. So now, sir, this platform is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sumit, sir, for the introduction. And first, I would like to thank NIDM and GNS University Bihar for giving me this opportunity for sharing my thoughts and views on this topic. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, dear participants, as we all know that in which manner today's topic is directly related to how can we use the technology, what is the importance of technology in disaster management sector. So, as we all know that in the current scenario in today's time, the technology has helped us in a very vast way. Mr. Rahul, can you unmute you? Okay, thank you. So, if we will take one example that in the current COVID scenario, current COVID situation, you all are aware that how the mobile phone technologies and the social media platform, because these are also an example of the technology, the growing technology. So we have by the help of these things, we refrain from the risk in the infection of the COVID-19, and the government has mitigated the risk and the crowd basically. And we can take the example of Arogya with the mobile phone. So we all can see the example of the mobile phone technology, how it can be worked in the disaster management sector. So basically today I will talk on the basic technologies. How can we utilize these things we are using in these things in our day-to-day life, but how can we utilize these things in the disaster management sector? Today I will talk on this. So I will share my screen. Is it visible, sir? Sir, is it visible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, and
Yes, sir.
can you confirm, is it moving?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so dear participant, today my topic is utilization of technology, basically the basic technology which we all are aware of in disaster management sector. So first we will take the basic technology example of radio and television. How can we utilize these things in the disaster management sector? So as we all are aware that the media in sociology of natural disasters, no matter it is landslide, no matter it is a flood, no matter it is earthquake or cyclone, are mainly viewed as management tools used to influence people's preparedness and response to natural disasters. Every function of modern media is so critical for the society in some special occasions, and media emerge in their functions, including informing, but in case of crisis and critical time, some of their functions play far more significant role. In case of socio-political crisis or natural disasters, media not only play their critical role effectively, especially educational and informing, but level a memorable and historical effect doing their functions. As you all can notice the role of the radio and television in your day-to-day life also. Radio is a unique media in effects at the first stage. We all can include the radio in at the first stage of for news circulation. In the second stage, the television could play the most important role because it can stimulate the crisis and show people how to react and survive while they are occurring. Research and studies can reply to those seeking everyday interpretations, and the place of listening frequently is in the shelter. What is frequently noted during everyday program of radio is that due to critical state, there have been some changes in ordinary broadcasting. And in reality, it should be argued that radio enjoys competitive advantage in critical states, since radio and TV remarkably benefits from high rate of power and speed in providing and delivering news. And immediately after disasters, the media conveys critical information to the public regarding the crisis, but it also provides psychological support to the stricken communities, to the affected communities basically. During natural disasters, mass media became an alternative for personal contact. We also can conclude that media, apart from transmitting information, also have a linkages and a social utility function. Keeping the TV on helps people to overcome loneliness and reduce the negative effects of stressful life events in general. So we all have discussed the role of the radio and television at the time of any emergency, at the time of any disaster, hazardous event. As I think you all are aware that during the Asian Ministerial Conference for disaster risk reduction in 2016, our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji has released 10, has given 10 agenda point or DRR, 10 Prime Minister PM 10-point agenda for these things. And he also emphasized the role of the technology, the role of the social media, the role of the universities, how can the networking of universities basically. And we all can notice here he has emphasized on two agenda points: the role of the social media platforms and also the role of the technology, the utilization of the technology towards DRR, disaster risk reduction. So the government is also taking various initiatives towards it. Next, we will discuss about the mobile phone technologies for DRM, disaster risk management. So in this slide, we will discuss that. I think you all are aware that in disaster management, there are three phases. The first is pre-disaster phase, before the disaster, the preparatory phase basically. Next is during the disaster, when the disaster is occurring, the disaster situation occurred, this phase, during the disaster phase. And the third one is the post-disaster phase, after the disaster. So how can we use, because the mobile phone technology is very basic thing. So each and every people of India may be using this technology nowadays. So we will discuss here that how can we use this technology at the time of any disaster situation. So how can it help us? So in preparatory phase, in before the disaster, how can we utilize this thing in disaster management sector? In data gathering we can use mobile phones, the internet surveys, education for outreach, participatory mapping of risk mapping we can use, sharing of risk information, exposure or early warning information, disseminating warning messages, contacting key personnel in communication chain for information. So these are some basic points how we can use the mobile phone technology in the preparatory phase of disasters or hazardous event. During the disaster, how can we use it? So logging or tracking events, asking for help or resources, we can use mobile phones. Checking welfare of friends and family, as you all can notice in the COVID situation, we have used this thing, the internet service. Mapping affected areas, you all can map affected areas. And information on resource priorities and short-term warnings or updates, we all can use this thing. And after the disaster, how can we use this thing? How can we use the mobile phone technologies? So mapping damage, in which manner the disaster has imposed its impact, negative impact basically. So mapping on the damage and tracking progress in fixing damage, we all can use the mobile phones for this. Recording events for observational database, because the observation of the database is also very important. So recording is important to note down the activity. How can we use it? So in the pre-disaster activity, we can use the drone system as a prevention and early detection. And during the disaster, we can use it as mitigation, monitoring, and decision support. Because if we will use the drone system, so that the precise information would be circulated to our government, and then they can take the precise decision, the necessary precise decision and instant decision for mitigating the risk of the disasters, the impact of the disaster. And how can we use it in the post disaster activity? Quick assessment and for the recovery. So now we'll move ahead to the use of internet service by using mobile phone technology. Because as we all know that how in which manner we are using our internet service, as you are well aware that our today's training program is also webcasting by the use of the internet service. So in which manner it is important, you all know, and in also in our day-to-day life. For many people, mobile phones are the only means of accessing the internet, helping to unlock significant and life-enhancing knowledge and products and services. And if we will see the data, so at the end of the 2019, more than 3.7 billion people were connected to mobile internet. But over half the world's population remains unconnected, and there are significant disparities in its availability and use across the regions. There are barriers to accessing the mobile internet, particularly in developing countries, including lack of connectivity, variable network strength, lack of access to technology, or affordability barriers. And the connectivity may vary depending on geographical location, because geographical location is also very, very important. If we will take one example, in urban areas, mobile coverage is often better, and because the infrastructure is developed in very well manner to respond to the population density and needs of the community. And if we will take the example of the rural areas, so there are some gaps, there are some lacks we can notice. In more remote areas, mobile coverage is not as widespread. Rural populations are 37% less likely than urban populations to use mobile internet. Mobile connectivity can vary from place to place and temporarily. For example, disasters or monsoon periods can result in damage or disruption to infrastructure, which can affect continuity of mobile networks. So this was about the internet service. So use of internet by using mobile phone technologies. We will take the example of COVID-19 pandemic. So the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the use of this technology in 2020, where there has been an increased reliance on personal access to technology to stay connected and simultaneously maintain the social distancing. Even if internet connectivity is available, there are many that may not be connected due to a wide range of barriers, including affordability, literacy, and skills, and safety and security. Costs can be prohibited for poorer and therefore more vulnerable communities. So now we will talk about to those people who cannot afford this internet service. So technologies that do not rely on the internet can provide alternatives basically. The mobile phone, how can we use the mobile phone technology if we are not having the internet service? So mobile services that do not require a smartphone, such as a phone calls, or we can use the calling system for circulating the message. The text messages we can use, as I think you all are aware that all people are receiving the messages from the government for the COVID precautionary, about the vaccination for the COVID, and the information about the disastrous event which are happening in our country or in our area by the local government, by the help of the local government and mobile technology services, mobile networking system. So if we are not having the internet system, so we can use the text messages, we can use the calls for this. However, even these more basic phones can be affected by prohibitive costs, access to mobile phones, strength or disruption of mobile phone coverage in mountainous or remote locations or during disastrous events. So backup or alternative methods of communicating or transmitting data should be considered for these contexts, building redundancies into the system. So for this, our local government, our district administration basically will be responsible to map this area, because as I have previously said, that the mapping of the risk is also very important. If we will map the risk, then we will well aware about of the for the preparation of the next disastrous event. We will overcome the disaster situation in a well manner. So this is the responsibility of the local administration and district administration. Next, we will discuss about the use of the social media. As I have previously mentioned that in the PM 10-point agenda, it is also mentioned that how can we utilize the social media platform, how can we use the social media platform for reducing the disasters impact and for towards the DRR. So the growth in technology and use of social media offers an opportunity for supplementary and complementary information alongside existing sources. Social media data can collect additional information, assess the resilience of natural system, and engage with communities. Social media provides opportunities for engaging citizens in the emergency management by both disseminating information to the public and assessing information from them. Social media also can complement and support EWS in several ways, providing additional data on real-time monitoring of hazards, vulnerability and risk, often at higher spatial density than monitoring and observation stations. Getting the right information to the right people in the right ways, building on trusted and well-used existing communication channels and platforms, and generating new evidence to develop our understanding of the communication and use of risk information in disaster resilience, preparedness, and response. So this was all about the how can we use the basic no, I was not talking about the advanced technology, how can we use the advanced technology, but I think that if we are unable to use the basic technologies which are accessible to us, so how can we believe that we will use the advanced technology if the government will help us to give these things to us? Because I would like to state here one example, that in the COVID situation, we all were aware that no vaccination were there in the initial phases. So which technology helped us? So we all have used the mask. So the mask was proven as a shield to mitigate the risk of the infection of the COVID. So this was a basic thing. The mask was a basic thing, which was also proven as a example of the livelihood of few people are preparing the mask you all can see in the markets. So this was also a means of their livelihood, has become a means of their livelihood nowadays. So I would like to state here that we all have used the basic thing and we have achieved a very good result, refraining from the impact of the infection of the COVID. So I would like to mention here that if we are unable to use the basic technology in our day-to-day life, in our disaster situation, so no matter in which manner we are using the advanced technology. So I would like to conclude here my presentation with one quote, that we cannot stop natural disasters, but we can arm ourselves with knowledge. So many lives would not have to be lost if there was enough disaster preparedness. So disaster preparedness is very important for us. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Archit sir. Any questions from participant side? Question, query?
Sorry.
No, anyone? So thank you, Archit sir. Now I would like to call Dr. Sweta Baidia Das, ma'am. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes,
So,
I'm here, sir.
so welcome you our online program, ma'am. First of all, I introduced you. Dr. Sweta Badia Das has done her PhD in Oceanography from CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography. She has worked extensively on the paleoclimate, essentially the paleo monsoon shift from the last glacial maximum to Holocene. Later, she has worked on desertification and land degradation in Jawaharlal Nehru University. She also has an experience of working on glaciology in Ministry of Earth Science. She was a faculty of disaster management in Jamia Millia Islamia University. At present, she is working as the consultant in National Institute of Disaster Management. So now, ma'am, this platform is yours.
Thank you so much, sir, for this warm welcome. Um, oh, I will share my document first. My screen and is it moving?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So, very good afternoon, all the participants, the organizers. I would really congratulate all organizers choosing up such nice topic, because nowadays, more and more we are dependent on the evolutionary new technologies, because for everything we depend on technology. Without technology nowadays it is not really possible to um, do even our daily works. So for the disaster situation, definitely we need the help of technologies. So so compliments to the organizers, and I know it is a lunch time, so all the participants also must be very hungry. I will not take much of your share with you. So I will bring the situation that we face in ocean. So not only that on the land we are facing the disasters, disaster situations are also seen in the ocean as well. So I will talk about three things today. First thing is the tsunami that all of you must be aware now. Based on the